Welcome to Life's Pivots and Potholes, your guide through life's unpredictable journey. Here we set sail into the vast seas of human experience, delving into the intricate stories woven by individuals from all walks of life. Life's Pivots and Potholes serves as your navigator, guiding you through the ups and downs faced by individuals of varying backgrounds, spanning different professions, ages, and corners of the world. Together, we delve into how they navigated challenges, grappled with tough decisions, and unearthed pathways forward even in the face of adversity. Come journey with us as we uncover the hidden treasures within life's trials, sharing heartwarming tales, laughter-inducing escapades, and the struggles that ultimately sculpt new beginnings. Let's embrace the adventure of growth and transformation as we navigate the twists and turns of this extraordinary odyssey called life. Hi, my name is Robin St. James, and today I have Dr. Amit Gunam with us. Welcome, Amit.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Robin. It's exciting. This would be my first podcast ever.
Oh, wow. I'm a first.
Yeah,
awesome.
I've been told, but this is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this conversation we're going to have today.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. So, you are from India.
Yes, I am.
Where are you from in India?
So I'm from south central part of the country called Hyderabad. Just like Oklahoma is the south central of the U.S., that Hyderabad is the fourth largest city in the country. And that's where I was born and raised. And I moved here 30 years ago, 2 months ago.
Wow.
30 years.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Happy anniversary. Now, did you study in India before you came to America?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I went to naturopathic med school. I went to Ayurvedic medical school. I did my acupuncture. Most of my training was done in India before I moved here in 1994 of August.
Wow, 94. That was a good year.
Yeah,
it was a good year.
It was a good time, yes.
So did you, when you were a child, did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
I think so, because, one of my first memories of life is like, I was walking on my mom's legs, So healing, her legs were hurting. I was probably 2 years old, maybe. Wow. And so I believe your first memories of life kind of shows your purpose of life,
Mm-hmm.
So probably healing was my calling, and it had been an exciting journey of 35 years in practice.
Okay, so when you came to America, did you have to go back to school?
So I came here. I had options between Oklahoma, California, and Hawaii. So I came to Oklahoma because I got accepted to do my master's in public health at OU Health Science Center. And there was a clinic on the south side of Oklahoma City called Oklahoma City Family Health and Pain Clinic. And they were looking for someone to work with them, do acupuncture. And so I joined them in 94. And so I chose to be here in Oklahoma.
So, okay, so you're like a triple threat, right? Because you've got acupuncture,
yes,
you've got natural medicine, and you've got Ayurvedic medicine.
And I did my regular MD also.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I did not know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have all of these underpinnings, but your focus was to stay in the natural world.
Yes. So I'm one of those crazies. I wanted to learn all the systems of medicines, ancient, modern, Eastern, Western, so I just wanted to bring the best of everything, combine. My belief is like when you use different modalities, you are adding the advantages, and then you can limit the limitations.
Fabulous.
So I just wanted to bring and do more of integrative approach in healing.
Okay, so you essentially created your own modality by studying all of these.
Yeah,
is that correct?
In a way, I combine different modalities in my own way, what feels right for this person. So generally, that's what I do with my clients and patients is have a dialogue with them. Okay, these are what are the options, and you tell me what resonates the best with them.
Okay, so you got here in 1994.
Yes.
And you went back to school. So from India to Oklahoma and America, was there any culture shock? Was there any adjusting to that?
Not a whole lot. I mean, of course, the values, the social norms are a little different. But again, human beings are human beings. So when I was leaving India, I had a huge practice there. I was teaching acupuncture to other physicians to do acupuncture. And many of my patients at that time would say that they felt like I'm leaving them to go to a better place or a different place. And they said, but you're going to miss us. Because they would, like in India, the way the people are, like if they don't have money, they'll bring you eggs and they will bring vegetables. Or, we had a very loving relationship with the clients and the patients. And they said, you'll miss you. I don't think you're going to get this in in America. And I'm glad they were wrong. I was welcome here with warmth and love, and I was very, very welcomed here. I had a very great support system.
Nice.
It was quite challenging too, because people were not very familiar with Ayurveda or acupuncture. It was kind of foreign, so people had a lot of reservations. They had a lot of doubts, and it's foreign.
So you had to actually work on educating this population.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
It was quite challenging.
How did you do that?
So I think the proof of pudding is in eating. So it was just a small start, very few clients, very few patients to begin with, and when they could see the results, that's what was word of mouth. Sometimes it kind of backfired too. Sometimes they will go back to their pastor and they say, okay, they have gone to acupuncture and this changed their life, or, their migraines were gone or something or other. And then the pastor would say, well, is he Christian?
You are not Christian.
I am everything.
Everything.
I believe in
okay.
Yes, I studied in a missionary school. So
did you really?
Yes, yeah, I did. So I feel, it's just different. Spirituality is spirituality. So they would say, in fact, some of the pastor would say, oh, they are devil worshippers. So they'll have all this misconception and fear, probably ignorance. And then I have to tell them, do you like Chinese food? And Chinese buffets are very popular in Oklahoma, right? Eat all you want. So, so I would tell them, when you can do Chinese food, this is like Chinese medicine. There's nothing. Food is food. It's just different flavor.
That's a fabulous analogy, because both support life and health. And
exactly.
Yeah, that's a fabulous analogy. I like that. I may steal that.
Okay.
I may steal that one. So you studied. You got your degree, and then you started with this clinic?
So I started with the Oklahoma City Family Health and Pain Clinic, and then that closed down. And then I joined Clark Manning. He was an acupuncturist. He was a pioneer of that time. He studied he was one of the first Westerners to study classical Chinese medicine. In fact, he wrote books on acupuncture and Chinese medicine and homeopathy. He graduated from New Mexico. He went to acupuncture school in Boston. In fact, he shared the office with Patch Adams.
Really?
Yes, he used to. Yeah, so he used to practice with Patch Adams, and so I joined him, and we started a school of acupuncture and Ayurvedic medicine in Oklahoma.
That had to have been just groundbreaking.
It was groundbreaking. It was very challenging because we couldn't get, good quality students. But nonetheless, we struggled, and we trained a few students, and they're practicing acupuncture in Oklahoma now. So yeah.
So where did you move after the school? What was your choice? Wait a minute. We're missing an element here. Aren't you married?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm married. Yes, I am married to Binti. She used to do ENT surgeries in India. She used to do cochlear implants for the kids, and So she moved. Got married 12 years ago, and she.
Okay, but wait a minute. Now you have to tell the origin story. How did you meet Bindi?
So we met. She's from the same town my grandmother used to live, and my uncle lives there. My mom's brother. So we first met online, and then we started talking, and they met her, and my uncle and aunt met her. And then I went, they really liked her, and I went and met her too. And then we just clicked off.
Did you have the wedding in India?
Yeah.
So you had the full Indian wedding.
We had a full Indian wedding, yeah.
Did you ride an elephant in?
No elephant. It was a horse.
A horse. Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so you guys, how long have you been married?
About 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah. And we have 2 little boys. They're 7-year-old.
Twins?
Twins, yes.
Twins. Oh, boy. Double the pleasure, double the fun, right?
A lot of fun. There's no dull moment in our household.
Yeah. That's awesome. So where did you go after the school? What was your next?
So first I did my master's in public health, and then I went back to med school because my medical degree from India was not accepted here. So I went back to med school, did my MD from Caribbean, West Indies. I went to University of Health Sciences, Antigua School of Medicine. So I did my MD and...
Did you go to Antigua?
Yeah. So I did my basic sciences there, and all the clinicals were done in Oklahoma. So I did my training in St. Anthony Hospitals and Mercy Hospital, Southwest Medical Centers. So that's where I did all my clinical training in radiology and ER and surgery and OBGYN and all the clinicals.
Oh, you had to do all the rotations.
I had to do all my rotations, yes.
Yes. Wow. That's a lot of schooling in there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of schooling.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. And so you got your MD and then you came back, and what was your next move? Let's talk about what was your objective? What did you want to do? Like, where were you headed?
So I feel when people feel more comfortable when, where the practitioner is trained in Western medicine too, they feel they have more sense of comfort and knowing that this person is not kind of just voodoo and out there and esoteric and crazy. And, so it gives a good scientific, background to people. Like to know how things work and they feel good when their provider can understand the pathology, their medicine, the pharmaceutical drugs they are taking. So it gives me a good idea about where they're coming from, what they're going through. And I can put on those different hats, okay? So if I were to wear this hat, this is how I would see things. Right. And let's see which hat fits the best.
Yeah. Okay. I like that because it's a 360 degree view of the human being. You're not looking at them just through one lens.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I was going to criticize Western medicine, I would say that would be my biggest criticism, because they look at you as a human being along this line and say, oh, this is what you have. This is what's going on, without really expanding that into the entire being.
Exactly. I mean, it's like putting a label on. Okay, here is a patient with coronary artery disease, or here's a patient with left hemiplegia, or, so you are giving different labels rather than seeing who is this person behind this, who is this being. We are human beings. So who is this being, we're not human doing, we are human beings.
Yes. Exactly. And that's what I love about your approach to all of this, is that you're approaching each person as a unique entity.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. So what was your next move?
So started, So Clark passed away, with whom I had the acupuncture and Ayurvedic school. And then I joined Dr. Adam Merchant. He was a medical examiner for the state. So he was very much into holistic medicine.
That doesn't seem to just completely line up.
Yeah. Okay. He was a very interesting guy. He was triple board certified, one of the very few people who are triple board certified in clinical anatomy and pathology, forensic medicine, and very interesting guy. I really miss him. He passed away a few years ago, and but he believed in holistic medicine, in Ayurvedic medicine, in acupuncture. So I joined him, and we started a holistic center on Portland and near Northwest Expressway in Landmark Towers. So we started that, and we just grew and have opportunity to serve a lot of people.
And the name of it is Harmony Healing.
Harmony Healing, yes.
Harmony Healing, yes. And so you have your own product line with Ayurvedic medicine, right? Now, why did you decide to create your own product line?
So initially, when I started my practice, Robin, there were not many manufacturers of Ayurvedic products in this country. And those which were available were very expensive. And then if you had to import from India, we do not know what exactly it's in them. There's not much of, quality control. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to make something very powerful, very natural, as, organic as possible, and value for the money. So when I was looking at people, they would put fillers in it, and their bottles are like potato chip packet, right? They'll have a big bottle and only few capsules in it or tablets in it, and with cotton ball. I said, when you're spending so much money on packaging, why don't you fill it up and give more value to the product for the clients and for the patients, so they can go get more bang for their buck. And so I decided to go on our own, and we started importing herbs from India. I have a group of, in fact, I'll be leaving for India next Thursday, Thanksgiving Day morning. I'll be leaving for India. So we started working with some farmers. They would grow the herbs for us, and then we would get it made into extracts, like strong concentrated extracts, bring them over here, test them for purity, for potency and all that in India, and then bring it here. And then we do our own manufacturing here.
I love that, because adulteration, that's a big problem now, and especially with a lot of things that are associated with India, like turmeric. Yes. Turmeric's a big problem, right. And I've talked to people about this, and it's like, talk to Amit about this, okay? Because if you're paying $2 for a bottle of turmeric, you're not getting turmeric.
No, you're not. No.
And that's not something that's widely known in our country, Yeah. And so you're educating as well.
Exactly. People need to know, because not all turmerics are the same. Turmeric is turmeric, yes, but what potency you are using? Are you just using the powder? Are you using the extract? Are you having things to get it better absorbed? That's very important. You may take the best possible turmeric, but if it's not getting absorbed, it has done nothing good for you. So we use ginger, black pepper, long pepper, which work as catalysts to absorb. And turmeric is fat soluble.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So unless it has a fat medium, that's why in traditional Indian medicine, turmeric would be given with either milk or with some fatty, like omelets or something, which
turmeric milk.
Yes.
Okay.
So milk has some fat, so it helps to absorb. So what we do is we use the extract of turmeric, which is like 95% curcuminoids. That would be like 25 times more concentrated.
Wow.
So like 25 kilos of turmeric would be made into like 1 kilo of turmeric. So that's very potent. Mm-hmm. And then we developed this Triperine, which is black pepper, ginger, and long pepper extract. And then we combine with the liposomal medium. So we can make it liposomal, which means lipo means lipid, fat. Somal is to help in absorption, assimilation, and it does its job. And our brain is basically fat.
Right.
So if something has to cross the blood-brain barrier, it has to be fat soluble.
I love that. I'm fascinated by this. Not fascinated enough to become a doctor, but I'm fascinated by that. And so you created your own products.
Yes.
And so you know the potency of them, when you're dosing, exactly what you're giving your client.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fabulous. So you've built Harmony Healing.
Yes.
You have your own production.
Yes,
we call it factory.
Yeah, it's a manufacturing facility. We call it Harmony Nutraceuticals, like pharmaceutical. This is Nutraceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome. And so are you guys experimenting and working on any type of testing new herbs? Because, there are all kinds of different herbs and plants and things coming into the...
Yes, always looking into evidence-based. When we use a herb, it has to have evidence. It should be tested by time, like Ayurvedic medicine had been practiced for thousands of years. So it's tested by time, it's trusted by people, but at the same time, it should be tested in labs too, to make sure there's no heavy metals, there are no contaminations, there's no pesticides or microbiologicals to pathogens.
Mm-hmm. So how do you, with your current products, how do you assure that all of that is not contained in the products that you're receiving?
Yes.
Because you developed personal relationships with the growers in India?
So I think it was President Teddy Wood Roosevelt had this saying, I trust, but I verify.
Yes. Yes.
So we do trust our farmers. In fact, I will be seeing some of them in my upcoming trip. So we know how they practice, and we have an ongoing relationship with them. But at the same time, we do verify. At the end of the day, before the shipment leaves India, we get them tested to make sure that it's all pure and potent and clean, and so it's all tested before it leaves the port.
Wow.
And also we have to inform the FDA that we are importing this material, so they have to be informed ahead of time that this shipment is coming. And what they do is on a random, they quarantine and they test. Mm-hmm. It's on random, and then they release it.
Are there any herbs or any plants that you'd be able to use in India that are illegal in America?
Well, like cannabis, that's used in traditional Ayurvedic medicine. It's called Vijaya in India. Vijaya means conqueror of disease.
Really?
So it's a sacred plant. It's a plant which is used for medicinal purpose, not recreational. And you don't use it for mind altering, but you use it for clinical therapeutic benefit.
And so you're using cannabis full THC?
Full spectrum herb is used, and it's not used by itself. It's used combined with many more herbs. There are classical, thousands of years old formulations. So I'm hoping to be able to introduce those eventually in Oklahoma.
Terrific, because we've got that. And then on the heels of it, we also have psilocybin coming in.
Yes.
We have different entheogens coming in.
Yes.
And when you look out at your future, are these plants and mushrooms, are you going to incorporate that? Or
I'm hoping to, based on evidence, based on science, and based on tradition. So we want to combine the best of the tradition with the science.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So there are a lot of studies going on. In fact, many of the studies are funded by the NIH, National Institute of Health, one of my friends is the chair of the National Cancer Institute, Department of Alternative Medicine. So they are looking for alternatives to the pharmaceuticals and chemicals, if they can help. I mean, I think that was the reason medical marijuana got legalized. It has some science. We have cannabinoids in us and in our receptors in us. So there's a reason for that God made this.
Yes.
But it has to be used judiciously. It has to be used, should not be abused,
right,
like anything else.
Right. I mean, I really, truly, my belief is everything is permissible and moderation.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so when you think about because the big thing now is mushrooms and it's chaga, it's all different types of mushrooms. And I'm not talking about psilocybin at this point, but are mushrooms a big part of Ayurvedic medicine?
No, mushrooms.
Okay.
Mushrooms
now, why is that?
I do not know. Yeah, I think in Ayurveda, the belief is we should use the herbs which are in the local region,
Right.
in local season. So probably we didn't have that many mushrooms at that time in India,
Right.
So
right, because it's you've seen it; it's blowing up here,
Yes, it is.
and it reminds me of the oats. Yeah. Remember when oats back in I think it was the 80s, where eat oats, and brain health, eat oats, and everybody was eating oats. And I always found that if everybody's doing it, something's wrong. Something's wrong because that may not be good for my body. And going back to the traditions that you're schooled in, it's about our individual, unique body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So someone's medicine can be someone else's poison.
Yes.
So things have to be tailored to and designed specific for that person. So in Ayurvedic medicine, we describe people of different body mind types.
Mm-hmm.
We use nature as a metaphor, like earthy type, we say kapha types, which are earth and water types. So these are the people who are like easygoing, laid back, and they are very kind, compassionate, and they talk.
Wait a minute. I think I know what type you are. I think I know. You're a kapha.
I am kapha. You got that right, Robin.
You gave me some hints there.
And then pittas are perfectionists. They are very visual. They like colors. They like things to be very organized. They are very particular. They are on time. I'm married to one. So we are different that way. But again, I think the key is to be able to understand the differences and honor the differences. Mm-hmm. And and then we have got windy types. They are quick, they learn quick, they walk quick, they talk quick, fast, and they are movers and shaker. They're like windy city. So we call them as vatas. So you got vatas types. So everyone is different and unique, and then there are combinations.
Oh, there are combos.
Yeah, so somebody can be vata kapha and pitta vata. So you're different.
Now, is that personality indicating that, or body type, or
body type, mind type, physiology, pathology, your whole being? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's it like being married to a pitta? How did you guys navigate what I could conceive of being places that create friction?
Right. Yeah. So, she likes to get things organized and be on ahead of time. If you have to be somewhere at 4, she'll be there at 3:45, or we have to go to a movie. So I have to, okay, well, we go there and wait. Rush and go and wait.
Okay, but that's where being a laid-back kapha,
yes,
whereas there's no problem. Right? So what if you've got a vata and a pitta?
Yeah, there can be then clashes, like can be wind blowing the fire.
And in India, how do you resolve when you have, those types of frictions within a marriage? How do you resolve that in India?
I feel in India it's changing now, but traditionally, we had arranged system of marriage where people were introduced and they hang out and they say, okay, they like each other. But they do come with a very strong commitment. Mm. So it's not just the two people getting married, but the two families, extended families getting married. And so there's a strong family values. There are values for commitment for the rest of their life. Mm-hmm. There's more patience. It's not like instant gratification or instant rejection that, okay, this is not working, move on.
Right.
So people do have more, people are married for the lifetime. They do, of course, divorces do happen. It's
right. But what I'm hearing you say is that there's more of an investment in it because there's a recognition that this impacts not just the two individuals, but the entire ecosystem that exists around them.
Right.
Yeah.
This I think there's much more commitment. It's not like in individualistic society. It's not all about me, me.
Right.
Okay, it's not working out for me. I'm out of here.
Right.
So, and people do that.
Well, absolutely. And you're exactly right. The difference between a collectivist society and an individualistic society, and both have their pros and cons.
Yes.
One, it's not like one is better than the other or it's the best, but there, what has always struck me about every person I've known from India is the commitment to honor their commitments.
Yes.
And I've always found that beautiful. I always have appreciated that I could, when someone from India told me they were going to do something, they did it, and I like that. Yeah. And I had the same experience with people from Japan, another collectivist, culture. So, yeah.
And I think that's the key, is to say what you mean and mean what you say, and talk the talk and walk the talk.
It's pretty basic, right?
Basic, back to basics,
yeah, exactly. And in America, we've diverged from, because, and maybe it has everything to do with how ancient the Indian culture is, and all of there are a lot of pillars that the Indian culture has, that maybe because America is such a new country, we don't have those things,
So there's a lot of wisdom, this.
Yes. And it's been proven out. Yes. That's, the empirical data of just the civilization and how it has existed for so long. And it's very, very different. I've not been to India, but I have many, many friends who have gone there. And when they've told me about the culture shock that they have, because they really had to go through, and these are people I know that travel a lot, but when they got to India, there were a lot of things that they really had to adjust to and accept. And one of them that and this always tickled me because it tickled them, was getting used to cows just kind of roaming freely, in the city. There goes a cow. Okay, now in Oklahoma, I know that happens, but it's a different thing.
Yeah, it doesn't happen on the streets.
No.
So cows had been like a part of family, because they provide the nourishment for the babies. They work in the fields. They are, part of the family. So many times people ask me, why people in India don't eat cow? Mostly they don't eat, because you don't eat dog and cat here, right? Because they are your they are like your pets. They're like your family. And again, I think there's also there's a more scientific reason, is genetically, cows' genes are very similar to us. They're mammals, like pigs are mammals. And initially, when they developed insulin, it used to be more of bovine insulin from the cows. Or even now, when they do transplant of heart valves, they can use a pig valve. So genetically, genes-wise, we have very similar genes to cow, pigs, and mammals. So that's why it's better to have meals which are, or meat which is different, whether it's chicken or turkey, may be a little better. Fish may be even better. Vegan would be the best.
Right. Right. Now, are you vegan?
No, we are not. My wife is a vegetarian, and we are mostly vegetarians, but I do like fish.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your favorite?
I like, grilled salmons, and I do like,
Yeah, well, So are you also participating? Don't you participate on a national level with the Ayurvedic community?
Yes, we have Ayurvedic Association. We have few Ayurvedic Association. So I'm the president of American Association of Ayurvedic Professionals.
And do you have conferences?
We have
that you get
conferences.
together?
Yes, we do have conferences once a year. And then, in fact, I'll be going to India on Thursday for a World Ayurvedic Congress, where I'll have 2 presentations there. And then we have one more big Ayurvedic conference at a university there. So where I'm invited to speak there. And so I'm looking forward to that.
What are you going to speak on? What's your topic?
So one of my presentation is about the growth of Ayurveda in the West and how to adapt and for optimum utilization of Ayurveda. And then another one is on medical marijuana, how it can be a boon if it can be used right. Mm-hmm. I think many states in this country and even in India too, someplace, it should be more popular. And it has so much of benefits if it's done right.
Mm-hmm. I've read some of that literature. Clearly, I'm not as up to speed on it as you are, but everything that I read about that, especially in light of the new research that's come out that SSRIs do not work. Yeah. Period. They finally have put a period on that. Yeah. They ameliorate a few of the symptoms, but they cause, the side effects can be even worse. And so. And it feels to me like since they're finally coming out and saying this is a medication that does not work, that this would open the doors for exactly what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly, Robin. You look at it, U.S. uses more psychiatric drugs per capita in the compared to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. Still, we have more psychiatric problem than the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. So we are not addressing the root cause of all these psychiatric conditions. I mean, of course, some psychiatric condition would benefit from some medication, especially antipsychotic drugs in schizophrenia and bipolar and conditions like that. There can be some benefit, but it's not cure all. It has a lot of limitations.
Right. And I think, that's really an important part because from my perspective, when I go to an Eastern medicine doctor, I feel like I am being the cause of whatever I'm experiencing is being dealt with, looked at, and addressed, as versus when I go to Western medicine doctor. Now, keep in mind, I wouldn't call you when I break a wrist, okay? Yeah. I'm going immediately to the ER and it's like, give me drugs, right? Yeah. But it always feels like the symptom is being relieved rather than the actual cause of what's happening.
Yeah. So many emergencies, yes, you're better off going to the ER. But in some emergencies, like in my wallet, I always carry needles. And sometimes in some emergency, like if it's like acute asthma attack or acute migraine or seizures, acupuncture can be helpful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there are many times, I'm flying airports or on the client, they'll have some emergency. I always have needles and it has helped many times. Wow. Even when I worked in the ER, I would have needles in my wallet. So sometimes we just do a few needles. Patient feels better and they're gone.
So that's like your emergency kit.
Yeah, this emergency kit.
I like that. I like that. Well, I was in North Carolina once, and someone actually the person that was taking a tour and showing us all these flowers and different things cut himself. And he grabbed nettle. And I was like, stinging nettle, and started rubbing it in. And it was amazing how it started the healing process so quickly. And it stopped his bleeding.
Right.
You know, and I think we're finally on the planet gearing into or, clicking on to the fact that everything that grows here was meant to support us, heal us.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right there in the middle of that.
Yeah.
So are you excited about the potentials for what's coming and how this is going to play out?
I think there's a huge potential. I'm excited with these new ventures and to have that feeling of fulfillment that you're helping people.
Yeah, but that's really your heart, isn't it?
It makes my day when I hear a success story or someone who has turned around. Things like they may have very severe neurological condition and it has turned around their quality of life. So that's very fulfilling.
Yes. I mean, I love what you do.
Thank you.
I mean, I really do. And by the way, Amit is my doctor.
Oh, you're kind.
and I really urge you to check out, if you're not in Oklahoma, you can go to Harmony Healing.
It's harmonyok.com.
Okay. And all of that will be in the comments, just so you guys know. You can look down and you'll be able to click on that and get to Dr.
Gumman.
I really encourage people to reach out and check this out. And Amit is a really wonderful, wonderful provider. I recommend you go see him because he will heal you.
Thank you. I'm just an instrument.
You're a Stradivarius then, okay? If you're just an instrument, you're a Stradivarius. Do you know what a Stradivarius is?
What's it?
It is the most expensive violin. I don't know how many are millions and millions of dollars.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like that crystal flute. There's a crystal flute. I don't know. It only comes out for very special occasions. But yeah, you're a Stradivarius.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Robin. Yeah. It's fun. And thank you to our friend Santiago.
You get the shout out, Santiago. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Glad to be here and glad to reach to your audience.
Yes.
Thank you.